All right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, coming with a message this evening, and it's going to be a long evening. This message, we're going to try to dive in to uh, the book. And I know a lot of you all probably don't know what the book is when I say the book. And it does not mean so much as this book. It's time we talk about the book, and that is the book that has been spoken regarding what is written. Okay. And me, myself, I know that it's not written like things are written in your book, like a book, or even the words that are in here. I don't think that the book is covering uh, 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 um, as we know a book and where everything is written. We didn't heard everybody talk, at least I have, and that's what I'm going to cover. Even when I went over to David and I went into Exodus, to Moses, everybody spoke of this book all the way to the very end. The last chapter of Revelation speaks of the book. So therefore, we know that there is something that is noted. We don't know how it's noted. We heard that it is written. Okay. Even Yeshua said it is written. Even Satan said it is written. Even Moses said it's a book. Okay. David says it's a book. So I think it's time we talk about that book, because I think that that's something that's missing out of altogether. I'm going to say way over 2,000 videos that Sister Deborah have uploaded. And I'm putting both pages together, just letting you know that's how many videos within a 7-year span that Sister Deborah have uploaded onto YouTube. Okay. That's a lot of videos, you guys. So I know that I'm about my Father's business, and I am laboring in the vineyard. I am working. I'm working in the vineyard. I'm laboring in this vineyard. Something is going on with Sister Deborah, and I know it looks like I'm okay and everything is subject, is okay, and it's not. It's not okay. It's not okay. And when I say that, on the outside has to play the role, but there's something going on the inside of me, y'all, that just I can't let it. I just can't. Through he that strengthened me is not going to allow me to let it fall, and I mean to hit the ground, because I'm learning so much about how righteous and truth is not accepted on the earth. See, I thought that I was really telling you all something. I thought I was really doing something by letting you know about how righteous stand alone. They don't need you. Not righteous, truth stand alone, which is the same. And they don't need you and I and truth, 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 truth. But what I realized, the power that rests in truth, that's putting everybody on this earth in danger. It's when you do away with truth that don't need flesh to justify, clarify, or identify it. But it do needs, and it cannot survive without righteous. Okay. So truth is a part of righteous, and righteous is a part of truth. They're hand in hand. They're in a oneness together. They walk in a oneness. You see? Now, if I speak to you and explain to you what I'm seeing from the not just the level of the wilderness, but my own experience here on the earth, in this world, that truth is not allowed to be spoken. In all my 65 years, I would have never thought that truth would not be allowed. Yeah, I would have never thought that. Because if truth not allowed, then righteousness is not allowed. And if righteousness not allowed, then truth is not allowed. What are you saying? Who has the power to remove truth? Who has the power to remove righteous? No one. But who has the power to uphold it? Who is on this earth upholding truth and righteous and truth in their everyday life? That's why I feel I am so in trouble. All because of Yah. Yah has allowed me to see things so clear to the point where the endurance and the long suffering is showing up and showing out at the highest. I realize no matter how much truth, no matter how much righteous, I realize it don't matter how you can go over this study guide and break that thing up, Deborah, and land that thing down in spirit and truth and with the light. Guess what, Deborah? If truth is not allowed, and righteous is not allowed, and righteous is not allowed, and truth is not allowed to stand hand in hand or to stand, period, what good is it? That's the hurt. That's the endurance that Sister Deborah feel. That's the long suffering. It's actually letting you know, keep running your mouth all you want to. It don't mean a rat's behind. I sat back and realized that no matter how much truth and how much righteous rest in truth and how truth depends on righteous, they hand in hand in the world in which we are in, the whole four corners. It means nothing. It means nothing. So the best thing I said to the Father, help me to run. I want to run, Father. I want to run and hide. I want to get away from everything I've known, everybody I've known, everything and everybody. I want to get away from every family, from grandbaby to granddaughter to mother to siblings to children to everybody. I want to get away. I want to run. Hide me. He said, are you trying to run away from the darkness, Deborah? Yes, it's heavy, Father. It's heavy. And guess what? The first thing I thought, oh no, wait a minute, Father. You can hide me in death. In death. I don't have to deal with nothing else. The issues on my left, the issues on my right. He don't even have to find a hiding place for me. All he has to do is put me to sleep. That's all. So that's what he said. Are you speaking of sleep? Being so, you want to run away from everything. You speaking of sleep? First thing I said, I wasn't trying to go that deep, Father. But you can't run from it, Deborah. It's nowhere else I can hide you from any and everybody. Where you want me to hide you? Putting you to sleep would hide you from everything. And then no one would have to depend on you. And no one would have to even call your name. They don't have to look for you. They don't have to make you or try to get you to not speak truth, to not be about righteous. You're gone. They'll truly miss you then, wouldn't they? Now you're not there. Is that the type of hiding you're wanting me to hide you from? I said, that's the only way you know, Father. Is that your only route? He says, for what I feel that you're going through, that will be your only route. Because what you know and what you're going through and what you're feeling and what is got you bit, it ain't going nowhere, baby. No matter where place I send you and what place I hide you, these things are going to remain. You can't run from it unless you sleep, Deborah. These things are not going to end. Matter of fact, they're going to get worse. And no matter where I hide you on the earth, it's the same thing no matter where you go. I'm at that point where he didn't just gift me in the spirit. He gave me the ability to master everything I put my hand to. So I have the ability to do a lot of things, you guys. But because of that day that we're in, it's like I'm at a standstill. I'm in that ocean and I'm drowning. And not only in that ocean, now I'm having to deal with being in the ocean with long suffering and endurance like no other. So I say unto you all, as a prophetess in the wilderness, down in that ocean with long suffering and endurance, coming up out of the ocean is what he said. It's not going to change. It's just giving you a breather just so you can go back into what the reality of this living is. And I guess with me also thinking, okay, why ain't nobody else having to? And I'm quick to pull that out on them. You know why I pull it out? Because I already know the answer. What has been given to you is for you. It ain't given to everybody. Keep in mind, the gate is narrow. And mine have been handpicked by my right hand. So I'm battling with that. I'm tired. I'm tired of doing everything and trying to. I'm even tired. You know what I'm mostly tired of? Thinking that I have to do wrong. I have to meet people's expectation that want you to abide by what is wrong. I know you all have heard, and I know many of y'all might not, because you're so closed off to your flesh. A lot of people think when I'm off to myself, I don't deal with this, I don't listen to this. That's people who flesh ruling their lives. Did y'all know that? Because it's teaching them, oh, your flesh is just you and your flesh. You good, you good. You see? And the flesh should get to telling you that you don't listen to it, don't listen to this, don't watch this, don't do this. Put all that out. Why? Because he wanted you for himself, your own flesh. That's what make your flesh your worst enemy. But I don't, if no matter what I do, I don't want to take my whole life living it to please the serpent seed, y'all. See, I don't want to, and I just want to run away. I want to just get away to send a sign. And that's what I'm asking the Father. Get me away to show them that once you out of their atmosphere, once you're away from them, then you don't have to deal with them. And I keep saying to the Father, I said, well, can I take that option? Can you give me that option? Because, I mean, y'all, this is crazy. Let me give y'all an example. I'm going to go and give y'all one of the examples. And it's just not just that one, but it's a whole bunch of things that every time you speak righteous and you speak truth. Someone told me today that it's many of truth. Yes, there are many of truth in that flesh. He said, in a man's eyes is clean. in his own eyes. So yeah, you got a lot of truth. But I ain't talking about that truth in the flesh, because that truth in the flesh don't come with righteous. I'm talking about the truth that's in with righteous, and righteous in with truth. Pull up with that one. This individual showed me all kind of examples. When they finished, I still was able to let them know that's still truth in the flesh. Where's the righteous in it? There's only one truth. And it don't need you and it don't need me. It stands in righteous, and righteous stand in truth. It don't need no flesh to make it what it is. It is truth by itself. Because in this world today, everybody said, you got your truth and I got mine. And it's swinging, y'all. It's swinging all over the place. It's going everywhere. Everywhere you go, people said, see, that's your truth. You got your truth and I got mine. And I'm like saying, wait a minute now. I ain't got no truth that ain't righteous. I don't want to stand in my truth. I don't want to stand in your truth. Let's stand in the truth that's righteous. How about that? This individual couldn't accept that. Oh, no, because it's too many different truths. I said it's the truth that leads to the lie. It's the lie that use truth to believe in it. Then the person got silent for a minute. Oh, yeah. That's the truth you're talking about. You're talking about the truth without righteous. I'm not talking about that truth. Because my truth don't mean the rest behind if it ain't no righteous with it. Or I'm not giving it to what is righteous. Yes, everybody got their own little truth. But when it's said and done, nobody in the world wants to lean on the truth that has righteous with it. And the righteous that has truth. They don't want that one. So the world, y'all, and that's what hurted me, because I was telling the Father, I said, but so you've been dealing with me on this truth, and you mean to tell me this is it? That's what I've been trying to tell you. I thought that's what you understood when I was telling you this is it. There's nothing left, Deborah. Because the truth, it don't need nobody else. It's going to stand on what it means, which is righteous. You're in a world where righteous and truth have no place. Because no one turns to it. They turn to what? Their truth. So, I'm hurting. I'm hurt, y'all. Woo, if you only know. And let me tell you how it was so horrible. It was so horrible. I got into a disagreement. But let me tell you an example why I'm trying to say to y'all, I'm tired. I'm tired, but yet in all, I'm still asking the Father, what is the purpose of you keep putting me or suffering me to get in an environment that I don't need to be in, or I don't need to be trying to see things through? Are these my children? Yes. Is this my ex-husband? Yes. Are you in full understanding that they are the serpent seed? Yes. But how and why am I locked in? I know I'm an empath. I know that. But why, Father, every bad situation that they have, they throw it at me? I'm in a whole different county. And when they finish, I'm still nothing and nobody. It's just so much for somebody my age. And I'm like saying, but Father, it's got to be something. He's going to do something for me, y'all. Because when I get off of here this evening, when I do my exercise, I'm going down in prayer and type the prayer that I'm going all the way to where the hem of his garment is going to hang over his feet. I'm going to stay right there and ask him, come on now, Father, bless me. I got to get out of this, y'all. I got to get out of this. Because if you telling me that there's no righteous and there's no truth, I'm sitting in a den of serpents. Everybody want to make everything something wrong with you. And I didn't wrote my little book, already started on my book. And I said, Father, but no, Father, come on now. You mean you didn't say this? This is being known all this time. Father, is it this many times that you done allowed something to be spoken, explaining what we're dealing with on this earth? How is it people are not even experiencing it? Because people are not in that fold. They're not in that body of homasiach. They are not in that oneness. Because it's no way I can see him allowing me to understand truth. And I'm the one in it, and everybody else can't feel it, they can't see it, they can't experience it. And it makes it look like I'm the wrong one and everybody else the right one. That's what I'm telling the Father from the wilderness. How did you set this thing up? You set it up real powerful, Father. And this is what it is, And that's why you're able to see exactly what it is. I'm like looking at this and saying, but Father, wait a minute, hold up. I don't. Truth and righteous ain't nowhere to be found. Father, what am I doing right here? How can Sister Deborah follow the way of truth and righteous when there's none here? How? And y'all knows that it's not. And I'm like saying, but is it that bad? Deborah, didn't I tell you it was like the days of Noah? How many showed up at the ark? See, Deborah, you keep going back to the way everybody else do it. If I tell you the days of Lot and the days of Noah, it's telling you something took place for me to destroy. And in it, no one came out. You got to keep that in mind, because that helps you to understand why righteous and truth is not found. Why people ain't experiencing it. Why people ain't feeling it. It's not meant. It's not meant. So I'm like, okay, hide me then. Hide me. Come on, Father, I know you can hide me. Take me away. I'm going to give y'all a slight experience. I have a son that's had a head injury. I knew about the situation. And I have hooked up with Voc Rehab, which I have did in time past. And I do resume, I do applications, I fill out. I know how to sling that stuff, y'all. I know how to do all of that. And all his living, I was always the one to do his resume and get him a job. I even did the call, the up when you haven't heard from them, you call them up and tell them when I put in an application certain date. It's been a couple of weeks, I haven't heard, and I'm just calling to inquire regarding the application that was put in. Always good. I'm good at that. And I said to myself, I'm getting old, I'm getting worn out, I'm doing just too much. I had got the job that he was working, and he was there going on almost, I think, 8 years. And he met this European lady, and she had him taking things out of the house. And I'm asking him, wait a minute, why you keep taking all this stuff out the house? Everything, nothing in that house belonged to him. But he's taking stuff out, taking it to this lady, this European lady. If you see what she looked like, you'll wonder where she come from. And he decides he's going to start living with her. He went over there and started living with her. Two weeks later, his car broke down. Never had issues with his car. Another week later, he lost the job. Another month later, she ready to put him out because now he don't have the job. A pretty nice paying job, good benefits, everything. So now she puts him out. He wants to come back to the house he left. He began to tell me all they did will smoke that stuff. She had so many females staying in there. She had grandsons, not grandsons, granddaughter, and sons, and one son came from the prison. It's just a house where a bunch of low-life people live in, and all they do is smoke that crazy stuff. When he's never been a smoker. And he said all they do is trashy there and everything. He said even the bed has bed bugs, and I had to take all my clothes down the basement. I didn't have nothing to do with that. That's your choice. You chose. So he gets back, and when she puts him out, he wants to go back over to the house. Now he don't have no transportation. He don't have no job. And what do that mean for me? I got to start back from level 1. So in the last 7 months, I've been trying, and I needed my support. I needed to go all the way back like I used to years ago. And that is contact Voc Rehab and say, I need an appointment. I need you all to help me get him a job and a coach until he get detached to his job. And that's what I did. I've been to meetings, and finally he was eligible. And then they gave him they gave me a flyer and said, well, Miss Brown, what provider coach system do you want him in? So I did my study on him, and then I decided this certain one. And I decided this certain one, he meets with them every Tuesday. Okay. And they're teaching him how to do interviews. They teaching him about how to keep his job and how important it is to show up on his job, things he already know. But what people don't understand, this son of mine, he's 48, what is it, 7 or 8, something like that. And it's hard for me because I'm still working with him like he was in elementary. It's still wearing me out. It's wearing me out, child. So what is happening is I get over there to the house, and my ex-husband and him stayed in the house. He tells me that my son took the mattress down in the basement, and I'm like, said, for what? Now he's been back home for like 4 months, meaning after he stayed with the lady and everything. And when he was staying with her, he was saying they had bed bugs. Y'all, the house is so fested with bed bugs. I had to go over there. Y'all, that just it's taking a toll on me, because a month ago, my ex-husband called and said he got mad and he kicked the whole front door frame out. I gets over there, the whole door frame is kicked out. All the locks are broke off the door. All because my ex-husband was upstairs. He said he kept knocking and my ex-husband didn't come down. So he decided to kick the frame in. Y'all, this stuff is mind-bothering, because I realize this is demonic. This is coming after me. Let me tell you why. It is said if the thief comes in and binds the stronghold, a lot of men won't teach that thing right. These bishops, these prophets, these prophetess, these Maureen's, these pastors, these apostles, these priests, all of these people are teaching it wrong. The stronghold is the spiritual one in the house. Y'all always got the spiritual one in the house. That's the stronghold. And that's who I am. So I'm like saying, but Father, I was talking to him today. It's hard being the stronghold. But it says if he can bind the stronghold. If the thief can bind the stronghold, he can spoil the whole house. What do that mean? Ruin the whole house. He can ruin the whole house. So I'm like saying, okay, I went off on my son so bad. And everything that I said to him, it was like going in one ear after out the next. It was everybody's fault except for his. I said, Raymond, how many times I'm going to have to come over here and fix stuff you tore up? So I had to fix that whole frame. I had to fix it. And I'm glad the Father had, like I told y'all, he have given me the ability to know how to do all kind of home improvement work. You need a toilet, I can put it in. You need windows, you need gutters, here I am. So it made me feel so sad that they are in that house, and I had to come way from the county, from a different county to their county, and repair a door's frame, the door frame. I hurt from that, y'all, because it's no end. It's no end. So here it is. The whole house is fested with bed bugs. I go over there and do my investigation and looked and saw it. So many of them, y'all. It's so many of them. And you talking about a townhouse, nice, clean, beautiful. Let me tell you, there's bed bugs everywhere. I run to Home Depot. You see how I told you I know how to fix things. I run to Home Depot, and they had all kind of things for bed bugs. I said, but no, stuff is not good. This is not good. And they tell you it is, but when you get there, you start what I do, read the reviews. And none of them ain't got no good reviews. So I looked on there and I saw Bug Med. I think that's the name of it. And I sat on my phone and I ordered Bug Med. I ordered 2 bottles. Now listen to this. I argued with him and said, don't ever take a fested bed bug down nowhere in no other room. Leave everything in the room. He then took it way down from the top level to the second level, all the way down to the basement. And the basement is set up like a TV room, a sectional in the basement, washer and dryer, and a bed, a room for bed with your bed in. Why are you taking this mattress that's full of bed bugs down in that basement environment? You took it from one level all the way down to the next. And I get there, guess what? I chew him and my ex-husband out. And all I can think of, y'all, my whole life is trying to make sure that I fix everything they tear up, everything they do. So listen to what I'm going to say. So I said, okay, get y'all tails down in that basement and get that mattress and put it outside by that dumpster. And then I just chewed them out how dumb that is. So my ex-husband called me today and said his whole room is full of bed bugs too. Now I got to go back and order. The order should be here tomorrow. Now I got to go back and order another 2 bottles to do the whole house. And I'm like saying, why should that be my problem? Father, do you not see your child? Why should everything always fall on me? Everything that happened. When my son in Texas said, when you need to talk to your granddaughter, which is my daughter's sister, my daughter's child, you need to talk to her because she needs to talk to somebody who ain't gonna take that crap. And I'm like saying, how can I talk to her and y'all done messed everybody up regarding me? What did I do? I started writing my book because the Father was showing me that in the household, you can actually have more serpent seed than you have spiritual seed. And sometimes you're the only stronghold. That's why he said, if a thief come into your house and bind the stronghold, he didn't say strongholders. He said stronghold, the one with the light. They can ruin the whole house. And that's how I feel. That's what I want to run from. Because I believe as long as I'm in among them, they're going to use me. They're going to abuse me. And they're going to set me in a little black box like I've been ever since I was 4 years old in the eyes of everybody. Now, being in that black box, guess what? They don't mess with me. They respect me because they know this is where we put her because we know she different. We know that she got some type of spiritual contact, but we got to put her in this black box and keep her here. And then I realized, y'all, the Spirit showed me today that not only do you been in there since you 4, your children have you in the black box. They have you in the black box. You're going to die in the black box, Deborah. And I'm like saying, and everything they get into or anything, it's always mama, mama, mama. And I'm like saying, you mean to tell me this is the reality? Yes. When take me away. Take me away from it all. And that's when he asked me, are you talking about sleeping? I said, do it have to be sleeping, Father? But you know what? When I pray to him, I'm going to see if that's the only option. I don't have no problem with it because y'all, I can't come out. I don't know how, because of I'm an empath. I don't know how to come out. Like all this that they and I told my ex-husband, I said, y'all trying to put me in a mental state. And he said, I know everything is on you. Yeah, you're like that because that's your personality. That's his personality. Anytime somebody can go and sleep all their living in the light, can't go to bed without a light on, something wrong with you. Did he do that with me? No, because I didn't allow it. But this person is who he is before I even met him. And I look back over my life and I said, Father, my life is ruined. Did you know that my life will be the way that it is today? You keep forgetting, Deborah. You mine. And I had to think when I was washing dishes about the stronghold. You didn't say bind the strongholders. You said the stronghold as if it could be one. Could it be one? Yes, Deborah. It can be only one because that's all I see, y'all. That's all I can see in it all is one. They plot against me. If I sit and show them we're wrong, is that they make it right. And I'm not just saying that today. I'm saying this is what I have learned to live with. Making their picture look pretty while I'm sitting in their little black box. So what I'm coming to understand after today, I realized, I said, you know what? Father, I'm going to die in that black box. Guess what that black box is? That's their mindset, where they rather have me because they don't like the ideal of any light. They can't stand light. So in every situation, no matter what, this is this, let's keep her in this little black box. And me, myself, I love being off to myself. I've been this way for years. Off to my, you don't come around the family, you don't hang out with them. That's because something wrong with you. That's what they say. Why would I come around people of my family? I said, when I come around, I asked them, I said, when I come around my family, do y'all see them disrespecting me? Do y'all see them treat me any way outside of highly respecting me? Yeah, they do. They do. Well, why would you put me in the box that they put me when I was 4? See, y'all couldn't figure it out. Why y'all been dealing with me since I was 4? They knew that there was something with me way back. I always tell y'all, my mama knew it. My mama knew it all the time. But that's where and I'm like saying to the Father, but here I am, 65. I really do, y'all. I need to let them all go. And as bad as I'm charged into the Father today. And I say, Father, what? If you do it, I know I won't turn back. But you know me. So I know if you set that way for me, I'm out. I'm out. I don't even want to be nowhere near none of them. I need to be off to myself. And I mean to where I don't have to run down there every time they stupid stuff. I said to this man, I said, don't feed. I have a pit bull. Y'all seen Ice. Don't feed this dog this crap. This man fed this dog bones and after I begged him not to. And then my son said, and when he have a bowel movement, he's bleeding. Looked on the dog's legs. Now, y'all, this is for real. Look down on the dog's legs. The dog's got sores this big all up and down his leg, about this size, at least about 8 of them. Sores all down and up and down his leg. I said, y'all don't do what's going on? This dog ain't never been like this. All because where I'm at, they didn't allow animals. So I figured they can keep him over there since that's a big house, and therefore they can take him to use the bathroom, and he can roam around, and then he have his big cage. That little dog be looking at me like, "Mama, please don't leave again." I mean, it's a sad thing. And then my oldest son from Texas said, "Mama, you know that Charles, which is my ex, he said, you know that he did that with mine when we was in Georgia. He let them sit in the car and tear up the car for a whole month while I was away. Never let them dogs out to use the bathroom. You mean your white Cadillac?" He said, "Yes." He said, "So I know what you're talking about is true." But it's like you can't say nothing about nothing, because if I say something, I'm the wrong one. I'm going over there to fix up the whole frame of the door, and they looking at me like I'm wrong. I'm going to do the whole house. I have to do the whole house, spray the whole house, and get it back into the right condition. But when it all said and done, it's your fault. How is it my fault? That's how it is. But I remember being 4. It was always like that. So what I do, I go down in the basement and start speaking to the Most High. I used to call him God. And I used to talk to him as a little girl, telling him, I don't know why they do me like this. I've been doing that for so many years. So even now I'm like saying, but Father, come on now. I don't need to be in the midst of all of these serpents. Why are you allowing me to be in the midst of them? You got me in the ocean, down at the bottom of it, with long suffering and endurance. Is that where I'm going to remain? Am I going to have to be chasing? And my son come calling me, tell me it's your time to be a grandmama and set an example like a grandmom. And I said, for what? If I've been ruined based on y'all, who going to tell me I need to be a grandmama to my grandkids? No, because if I don't do what y'all tell me, you're gonna ban me, which has been done too many times from the grandchild. I'm not gonna do that no more. That's it. I don't have any grandkids. How about that? I don't have any grandkids. I don't need all of that. That's where the problem is at. You got to be able to know the situation you're in and to pray that y'all get you out of it. And even if I have to continue to pray every day, Father, remove me from their presence. It ain't that I need to sleep, but I need to be alive so they can see that I don't need to be used by them. Let's get into the topic, okay? And the topic is the book. That's when I'm saying I'm just so heavy burdened because I got to get out of this environment. And I went into my kitchen. I started looking at my little place, and I said, you mean I have to get out of this, Father? I have to. I can't do it. I can't do it. Because if I have to do it, the Father know I'm going to cut up from the floor up. The Father know if I have to do it. That's why I know I got to go into prayer and pray that he take this and work it out. Okay, so let's go into this topic about the book. Now, I want to tell y'all something that they did. They really disappointed many situations in living when we should have, even me, And I think I only did I probably got 3 videos regarding the book. Okay. And we're going to talk about everybody speaking about this book. Why ain't we today talking about it? The book actually exists. Let me read some of your I know it, baby. That's that's what I want to do. I want to just, and when you're an impact, I want each and one of y'all go and take on an impact. It is so hard for them to let go. You see, because and it ain't gonna change. But I'm learning too. Oh yeah, I'm learning. But seems like the more you know you got a hold of it, something else come up. Okay, that's it. Follow the spirit that is greater in you. That's why your truth, my truth. I know that's right. I told him no. There is only one truth. I know that's right. I know that's right. And it's only one. But when it get to the point where your truth is yours and mine, we walking around here with all this truth. But where is righteous in it? What is right about my truth and your truth? Where is righteous in that? It ain't, unless it's holding hands with truth. And if neither one of us, we have to come to the table and come to righteous. That truth, not the truth that we are. Everybody saying, you got your truth, I got mine. And guess what it does, y'all? I'm going to tell you something y'all don't even know. It divide everything up. It divided. You be talking one thing, somebody be talking something else. You so divided because everybody get their own truth. Let us set an example. As I was so bombarded earlier, and y'all know why that happened. I had a big falling out with one of my sons in Texas. But you know why that happened? Y'all didn't even know the capacity of what Sister Deborah spoke early this morning. The Father was so in me, I was bubbling up, I was feeling so good. Did y'all know I've been here at this table since this morning? I've been at this table since this morning. Why? Because I was just so bubbly and feeling so good. I was doing my study for my 7:00 message. And I was feeling so good to hear this son from Texas come call. Just damp my whole spirit to the point where I said, okay, Father, hide me, take me away. Only you can do it. You know where I'm at. You know where I'm at. And only way I can get out of this is your help. So that's what I'm going to keep on. But I was feeling good about that message this morning, y'all. The Father gave me the assurance, well done. That's a good one. And then he started working with me in the anointed on the one that I'm about to speak now. But when that son called, oh man, and started saying all these crazy things, I was like, oh no. And I thought about it. I said, but no, I'm going to finish this message. And I did. I finished my little study. So what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about something. And it's going to shock y'all how people have forsaken the book. Nobody wants to talk about the book. Why? Because they don't want truth and righteous to come out. They don't want nothing to be about the book. They do not want anything to be about the book. But we're going to talk because it's time to talk about the book, okay? Because I think it's the most important thing. And we're going to start. Let's start in Exodus. Let's go to Exodus. In the book of Exodus, chapter 32, and we're going to start with 31 through 33. And I want to, not through 33, but to 35. And I want you all to hear the conversation between Moses and Yah. Okay. Right here, I'm going to tell y'all, David spoke of the book. Moses spoke of the book. Who else? Revelation spoke of the book in 5 books of Revelation, spoke of the book. Yeshua spoke of the book. Wait a minute, I ain't finished. And who else? Wait a minute, hold up. Luke spoke of the book. Total different. Malachi spoke of the book, and the rest of them came out of Revelation. Revelation pulled up the book right at the end as well. So there is something that has things, how would I say it? There is things that's actually saying something about this book, and it's time we talk about it. So let's go to Exodus chapter 32 and verse 31 through 33. Now watch this. Moses returned unto Yah, and he said, oh, this people have sinned. Y'all see what he said? He said they have sinned. Watch the level of sin. He said they have sinned a great sin. You hear him? He's telling the Father, these people have sinned a great sin and have made them gods of gold. Now, this is what Moses is saying to the Most High Yah. These people didn't sin greatly toward you. And they made themselves their own God. Verse 32, yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book, which thou hast written. I think that's wrong, y'all. Now, see, everybody else, people don't think that's nothing wrong with it because it's Moses. I don't see that. That's straight up wrong. You blot me out if you ain't gonna forgive them. You just coming to the Most High Yah, and you just revealed to him that they have done a great sin. It ain't toward you, Moses. It's toward the Most High Yah. Then you turn around and you challenge him by saying, and if you don't forgive them, then you blot me out. Now, I don't know if this is something legit, but I'm just saying we're going to cover this book, y'all, because we got to understand what is going on with this book. Because what people are thinking, everybody thinking they're going to heaven as if there's no other place outside of it. Everybody's going to go to the kingdom forever. Okay, so here go Moses. He says, and if you will, yet now, if thou will forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy, showing the Father, I know you got something that's written, and I'm in that book. This is what he's thinking, which thou hast written. So how did Moses, you never hear anything about the book with Abraham at all. I mean, with Moses at all. You don't hear no book. So what is he talking about, you guys? What book is he talking about? Let's continue. And Yah said unto Moses in verse 33, and Yah said unto Moses, whosoever have sinned against me, him will I blot out of my book. What that tells Sister Deborah, it makes sense. It makes sense to me as one taught from the wilderness level and living on this earth today. There's a reason why many should be blotted out. Meaning, Yah do have a door that he's going to escort out of the kingdom. Meaning, blotting them out of the Lamb Book of Life. That's more like it. I like that. Did he predestine everything? Yes. Did he foreknow everything? Did he? Yes. Did he written everything? Yes. But he's going to erase some people out of the Lamb Book of Life. And you're going to learn that today. This is what you're going to learn. You were written, but he himself are going to blot out whom he chooses. That watch what he said in verse 33. And verse 33, we're talking in Exodus chapter 32 and verse 33. And Yah said unto Moses, whosoever have sinned against me, him will I blot out of my book. So you can be in the book and your butt can be blotted out. I would have never thought that once you in there, you could. But because I've gotten all these verses regarding this book, it tells me something totally different. But it makes sense to my spirit. Because I tried to teach y'all, everybody is on this playing this dangerous game on this earth, playing out they are the holy than thou, that they are full of the Holy Spirit, that they have Ruach HaKodesh, they have a spirit and truth, they have the light. But why is my spirit seeing them to be different? What's going on with that, Father, y'all? Something is different. I told you. People really playing around. But I'm just showing you how, yes, your butt can get blotted out, even once you written in. He just said it. And he's not talking about them. He just letting Moses know. If they sin against me. See, people don't understand sinning against Yah is when you choose another God to serve, or you choose to do things against him that is not righteous, and you do it intentionally and purposely. And you written in the book. Because that's why I like that, because I like it because it shows me that he's not going to take everybody out of the whole house of Israel and give them eternal life. Talking about, oh, there's 12 gates into heaven. You see how foolish they are? They figure they can be down on this earth and do any and everything. And we all going, the whole house is all going to the kingdom. They really believe that, y'all. Because if you think you all are going to Mount Zion, you think you all are going to the kingdom. Because everybody he taking to Mount Zion, everybody Yah takes to Mount Zion is going to the eternal kingdom. So who's giving them that mindset that you can do whatever you want? You're going to the kingdom. That's that mindset. And he's sitting here saying to Moses, wait a minute. When you go up against me, if you're in the Lamb Book of Life and you go up against me, hey, you out. You're getting blotted out. That's what he just said. As if you are in there and I'm going to blot your tail out. So it makes me feel good because it let me realize what I've been thinking since the 7 years I've been on here, how people are claiming him in all the wrong ways and getting away with them themselves, that they all that and that, and they really not that. It's the role that they're playing. You remember that example where he invited those to go to the wedding feast, and that was representing the house of Israel. He invited them, but they refused to come. And then he told them to go out into the highway and byway and invite as many that would come. And when they got to the feast, there was somebody who had did not have the dress code. How did he get to the feast then? He wasn't supposed to be there. So it is going to be individuals who thinking that they're going to walk into eternal. Even those who are going to say, I did this in your name, I did this in your name. That's how messed up the minds are on the earth, that their spirit is going to take that same trash back to the kingdom that they manipulated and deceived on the earth. They're going to take this thing right back to the kingdom. So here he said, Yah is letting you know. He told Moses, and Yah said unto Moses, whosoever have sinned against me, he will I blot out of my book. I like that. He let Moses know, you don't rule my book. I'll block them out of my own book. Now, how about that? Then he went to 34 and he said, there now go, lead the people unto the place of which I have spoken unto thee. Behold, my angels, meaning take a look, my angels going to be leading their tails. This is what I was explaining to y'all. We had angels and we had, there's two different kind of angels, the darkness and those that represent Yah's protection of his. They out on the earth right here today. That's just how crazy the earth is, and everybody walking around like ain't nothing happening. These here angels they're fighting wars for us, and we walking around like, hey, it ain't nothing. I know I'm in there. I'm this and don't even understand the battle that's being won on your behalf. Even while you ain't even thinking that you should do anything but stand still. There's a battle being fought on your behalf. And he's telling him about, behold, my angels shall go before thee. Never Nevertheless, in the day when I visit, I will visit their sin upon them. He ain't playing. He's telling them about Israel. I'm going to visit their sin upon them. You see, and those who sinned against me, you know when he told y'all that? He told y'all that in Isaiah. I think it was Isaiah, was it 5? I think it was 5:20. I think when he was telling you that I'm going to bring them to the wilderness and I'm going to purge the rebels out. And those who did what? Transgressed against me. I'm going to take them out. Take them out of what? My remnant. So I can take my remnant over there. They ain't going there, bro. See, everybody lying. Everybody lying and believing whatever they want to believe. You can go right ahead. Go right ahead. So here he's letting him know that he's going to visit their sin upon them. And here in 35 it says, and Yah plagued the people because they had the calf which Aaron made. Look, Aaron, the one made it. He's supposed to be the priest. He's supposed to be the prophet. He made it. That's why I'm saying these men will not come up and own stuff like this. This is what you need to precept to show how ugly y'all were. And being. Aaron built it while Moses was up in the on the mountain talking to the Most High Yah. But he put a plague on them. You know what the plague is? A disease. Yes, he did. That's what it says in 35. And Yah plagued the people because they made the calf which Aaron made. Aaron was participant in it. But there, I like when Moses went trying to make it like it's something right, even though he's calling it out to the Father that they sin against you, but block me out then. Who are you? Who are you to go tell the Creator to blot you out of somewhere he got you in? He know how to blot your ugly tail out if that's what he want to do. He don't need you to tell him that. Let's go to Psalms. In the book of Psalms, chapter 69 and verse 26. In the book of Psalms, chapter 69 and verse 26. And it reads, for they prosecuted him whom thou hast smitten, and they talked to the grief of those whom has and to grief of those whom thou hast wounded. Verse 27. It reads, add iniquity unto their iniquity, and let them not come unto the righteous. Listen to what verse 27 says. Add iniquity unto their iniquity, and let them not come into the righteousness. Now watch this here. Verse 28. Let them be blotted out of the book of the living and not be written with righteous. So that those that are in that book is the righteous one. Here David calling it out, telling the Father, him trying to tell the Father what to do. I don't know what these men get off thinking they can tell the Most High what to do. Like he ain't got his own will. He ain't got his own plan. And he said in Psalms 69 and verse 28, let them be blotted out of the book of the living and not be written with the righteous. Because I want to share with y'all, those that are in the book, y'all, in the Lamb book are the righteous one. They are the sheep. They are the righteous one. They are Yah's spiritual seeds, y'all. We need to stop thinking that we're going to override that by the ways of this world. And that's why Sister Deborah, I thought my blood pressure was up so bad today. I'm telling you, before I got on live, that's why I was late. I was checking my blood pressure from one arm to the next, to the next, to the next. Truly, this is not my blood pressure I'm checking. And guess what it was? Excellent. my heartbeat and because my head is hurting. My head is pounding. And I'm like, surely this must be my blood pressure. Something that's not right. And I checked it and it's perfect. And my heartbeat is excellent. And I'm like, Father, he just showing me, Deborah, bring that thing down. Come on now. It's going to be okay. You see? So here you see David telling the father to block these people out because they ain't no good. And I understand David. But Sister Deborah, I ain't finna tell y'all what to do. I wouldn't dare try to tell y'all to block somebody out. For what? No, I ain't. I don't talk to the Father that way. Never did and never will. Oh, no. Telling him what to do? Oh, no. So when I get to Matthew's chapter 14, I end up here in Matthew's. No. We ain't going to go to Matthew 14. We're going to go to Matthew's. Nope. We're not gonna go. Let's I got to get these. Come on now, Deborah. Come on now, Deborah. Come on, Deborah. Okay. Okay, let's go to Malachi. Let's go to Malachi. Malachi chapter 3 and verse 16 through 18. Let's go to Malachi. And I'm going to show y'all where the 4 brands, how you can have just one of them and you still going to be in there. Okay? Because it's not a normal righteous, y'all. It's not a normal belief. It's not a normal fear. It's not a normal faith. These are things that's spiritual. And if you're holding one of those brand, Yah already sealed you with his brand for some reason or another. Let's go to Malachi chapter 3 and let's start with verse 16. And it reads, then they that feared Yah spoke often one to another. I like that because it's showing you those who fear Yah, they had some sort of communication. Now watch this here. They spoke often one to another, and Yah hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for him that feared Yah, and that thy ought. Wait a minute, where am I at? I got it highlighted. Thy ought, no, that ought upon them. Wait a minute. Let's go over that. Let's go start back at the beginning. Malachi chapter 16. Malachi chapter 3, verse 16. Then they that feared Yah spoke often one to another, and Yah hearkened and heard it. He heard those who feared him. They were speaking one to another. Watch this here. And a book of remembrance was written before him for they that feared Yah. See, there was a book of remembrance was written before him. Okay, before Yah, for them that feared Yah. You see how those that fear Yah, their name is already written. You see, that's one of the brand. That's why I said when you talk about the Gentiles or anybody else, other nations, they can be grafted in from one of them brands, and ain't nothing nobody can do about it. And that's the way we should have always taught it, even to this very day. But too many people are against. Too many people are totally against it. Yah and those and that ain't Yah feared Yah, and that thy upon his name, though upon his name that thought upon his name, and that I don't know, I got it wrote wrong. I got it THA that thought upon his name. Those that and that thought upon his name. See, they thoughts were upon the Father's name. These were people who feared him. They spoke one another. But he said the book of remembrance was written before him. See, they was in the book of remembrance, which is still the Lamb book of life. And their thoughts were upon his name. See, they thought of his name. This is in Malachi. Now let's go to verse 17. And they shall be mine. See, he's letting you know they're going to be mine. But all they were talking about was the word fear. That's one of the brands. See, y'all ain't asking everybody to bend over backwards, but he's letting you know I have branded what is mine. But I'm learning that you can get blotted out. Okay, so in verse 17, and they shall be mine, said Yah of hosts. In that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth. Listen to what he said. As a man spareth his own son that serve him. That's why I be on y'all about you got to have something about yourself that serve y'all. You can't just sit up and say, well, hey, I'm in there. I don't have to do nothing. All I have to do is he got me written already. Okay, go on. Be a fool if you want to. Listen to what he just said. Listen. Let's go over this again. Verse Malachi chapter 3 and verse 16 through 18. Then they that feared Yah spoke often to each other. And Yah hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance were written before him for them that feared Yah and that thought upon his name. See, these people feared him and they always had thoughts upon his name. Always, his name is always on them. Okay, and that's going back to that power, Christ. You see, it's going back to that. Now watch this here, verse 17. And they shall be mine, said Yah of hosts. Yah of hosts mean the Father in the host of heaven. He said they shall be mine. In that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them. That's those who he's taking over to Mount Zion, and he's going to make you up. That's what he's going to be doing. Sprinkling you with clean water, removing your idols that's within you, giving you a new heart, a new mind, and a new spirit, and a new name. This is what he's saying. When I make up my jewels, and I will spare them, as a man spared his own son that did what? That served him. See, everybody thinking you're going to run in this world and you just going to walk around and say, I'm all this and that, and you're not serving him. Like Moses felt that he should forgive Israel, and they sitting here doing greater and greater sin against Yah, but you telling Yah you better forgive them or else you blot me out. You most likely got blotted out because I don't see you in Genesis in Matthew chapter 1. So you might have gotten blocked out. And then in verse, but I like what verse 17 is saying, because it's letting you know, like his own son that served him. He wasn't talking about Yeshua. He wasn't talking about Hamashiach. He's letting you know how those that are his jewels that are of him, that day he spared them like his own sons that served him. See, people think that y'all just gonna pick you up and you in there. People got that all wrong. Because, okay, what did I just tell y'all? All the stuff that I'm going through and what I'm suffering through, and I'm having to deal with him helping me to hold on to his unchanging hands and the long suffering and the endurance. But then everybody else walk around like it ain't nothing. That is so unjust. I don't know where people get that they can just walk around and play on YouTube and just go to and fro and listen to this video, and just all over the place. And then they in there. I can't see it. Why am I long suffering? Why am I enduring? But everybody else don't have to do nothing but walk straight on in. Y'all got it wrong. Y'all got it wrong. So verse 18 said, then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked. Is that not what Yeshua going to be doing when he's separating the sheep from the goat and the goat from the sheep? He said in verse 18, and then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serve Yah. Told y'all. I don't know where people thinking it's okay. Unless you're the support of those who are serving, then y'all gonna definitely get you right in, because he said it. It's all found, at least by 20 verses telling you that. If you support those that I sent, sure you in there. He already said that. All over your study guide. But people don't get that. So here he said, in verse 18, then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serve Yah and him that serve him not. He's telling you there's two. One that serve him not and one that serve him. What do serve mean? Anybody know? Can anybody give me a definition of serve? Why would it be saying serve Yah? He's going to judge between and discern and return to judge the righteous as well as the wicked. There's two. He's showing you the righteous and the wicked. Then he's going to judge between him that serve him, which is the righteous, and him that serve him not, which is the wicked. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all, you're not in there because you standing here looking at Sister Deborah. You in there for many a reason that heavens has orchestrated it. And if it's not to support Sister Deborah, or it's not to serve Yah in doing your own service, one or the other. And like he said, he's dividing the two. But I had never seen that, y'all. I had never seen, maybe because I never went to Malachi like that, and seen where he's sitting here telling us he's going to serve, he's going to judge the both, the righteous and the wicked. And he that served me as Yah, and he that served me not. See, he showed you the two. Because most people think they in there and they don't have to do nothing but just stay up all day watching YouTube and listening to somebody. And that's going to make them be in there with Yah. So let's go back to this book. Let's go into this book here. Okay, let's go back to this book. Now let's go into Revelation. Let's see what Revelation is summing this thing up. Why Revelation? It's because it's showing you I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not playing with y'all. This is the end, y'all. Listen to this here. Watch this here. We into Revelation now. Okay, I want to go. Let's go to Revelation chapter 3 and verse 5. In Revelation chapter 3 and verse 5. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 5. He that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white raiment. And I will not blot out his name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name before the Father and before his angels. You know what that tells me? Somebody can get blotted out. See, I didn't know that, y'all. I figured if you in the Lamb Book of Life, you are in it. You can actually get blotted out. And that's good news to me, because the way I feel and the things that I go through, and I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, it's not just my family. It's just understanding things in spirit and truth with the light. And then you compare those things to everybody, and you trying to figure out, well, what's going on, Father, y'all? Ain't no one at your door. What is going on? And it's not just saying just my children, because if you knew mine, you'll say, oh, those are the best kids on the world. But no. Yah give you the gift to be able to know who and what's what. And he will not start nowhere but first and foremost in your house. And if you can't measure your house, you can't measure anything outside of your house. You got to see what Yah has placed among you in your house. You can't go into somebody else's house and try to tell them, well, you should treat your daughter like this. You should treat your son like this. Or you should do this to your wife. Or you should do this to your husband. Don't do that. Judge your own house first. And I'm not saying judge it, but measure it. Is it full of light or is it full of darkness? And no. Let me stop that because somebody try to justify. Is it the serpent seeds in there or is it the spiritual seeds? Is it more serpent seeds than spiritual seeds? Come on with it. Pull it up. People won't own it. They won't own it because they figure mine's is all clean in my eyes. We got all spiritual seeds. But y'all already done told you. In 6 verses, Yeshua went on and told you, and then Christ jumped out of it and told you, I know I come to bring the sword. Well, y'all, who told y'all I come here to bring peace? And you remember Yeshua said, I come not to mess with nothing. I ain't come to mess with the law. I ain't come to here and mess with the commandments. I come for the lost. Well, who is this talking? I come because I sent the sword to divide. Who is that? Christ. He letting you know. Him redeeming is coming to draw the sword because he knows who's supposed to be on what side. You remember Yeshua? He said he just come for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But see, Christ came. He said, I didn't come to bring peace. That's not what Yeshua said at the beginning. That's why you know there's 2 entities. Then here go Yeshua, here go Hamashiach pull up and say, I come. You think that I come to bring peace? No, I didn't. I come to bring the sword. And then he went to tell the men that I come to divide what is in your household. Because that's where it's all at. And that's why I said when you bypass your own household and you think it's everywhere else, baby. Once you're able to measure your own, you got it. And I have measured my own because it has more serpent seed than anything. I can't really, and Quiet Storm. Yeah, Quiet Storm. Many women used to tell me, you got all those men, sons, because they were very, very attractive coming up in teenagers and young adults. And they were all that and some. And they used to say, I don't know how you gonna keep them women off of you. But you know what the women always told me, and the men, let me not lie. They used to tell me, and your children, let me tell y'all something. My son in Texas, he didn't have a chance. He never had a chance. It wasn't nowhere I took him when he was 6, 7, and 8 that men went on him then. I'm not lying to y'all. They were on him then when he was a little bitty 5 and 6, 7, 8 years. Looking. You see? So I'm just showing you the tribe of Judah has been rotten from the beginning. And Quiet Storm, even him, when they began to tell me about these women used to tell me this, I used to say, oh no, not my sons. I show too much what you would call love and a mother and make sure, that they know the word of Yah. I would have never thought it. So when Quiet Storm wife, him and her just got married about 4 or 5 months ago, I gave them their marriage counseling. And I told her, I said, I see in your father's house that there's something that you are detached to. And all that time, did y'all know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I was on the father. I said, Father, I don't understand why daughter-in-law against mother-in-law and mother-in-law against daughter-in-law. And then you got 2 other verses saying that the daughter-in-law is going to be against the mother and the daughter-in-law going to be against the mother. And I'm trying to figure out why is that? She seems like a really nice person. She seems pretty good. But see, exactly what the women used to tell me and the guys, because when I would take my boys to get their haircut, I didn't take them often to get their haircut. It's when I really wanted a very professional haircut because I can cut hair. So it wasn't like they went all the time. But I used to hear them say that about my sons. And they used to always tell me, wait till them women get a hold of them. When they used to say that, I would have never thought that. And yes, it can. It actually can happen. It actually can happen. And just a little lie made me realize, and that's all y'all left me. He say, I was mopping up the house, and he said, quiet storm in China is coming. I said, what they coming over here for? He said it 4 times. And when he said it, that ball of fire was in me, y'all. So when they came over, we sat at the table, and I said, the Spirit told me y'all was coming. And then I put the question, which all they had to do is say yes. That's how simple the answer was yes. Why did you want them to say yes, Deborah? It's because the Spirit already told me yes. So I figured, here y'all are. And this don't have nothing to do with nobody but y'all. All you have to do is says, no, I didn't know, or yes, I did. That's all. Instead, they choose to say no. And then the Spirit told me it wasn't Joseph, it was China. And the division and the chaos that took place after that was what China needed, because she saw a young man, quiet storm, that loved his mama and respect his mama. And like I told her when I counseled them, y'all need to stop. And I'm speaking to women out there. There is so much love out here. Thinking you can win a man and you want all this love, use up food, and you're going to lose. Because I counseled them and I told them, okay, China, Joseph have brothers, siblings, sisters. He have grandmama. He have a mother. He has a father. Those are different loves. Those are different kind of love. And he have you, his wife, to love. Allow this man to love his family and love you. He can't love me like he love you. You his wife. But I'm a mother. You ain't his mother. He should have that ability to love his mother. He can't love you like, he can't love his brother like he loved you. I said, even if he had a dog and a cat, he'll love his dog and cat, but it can't love him like they love you. These are different levels of love that you have to allow a man to have. I said, women tend to want it all for themselves. And I think that's what she wanted. She got what she wanted, because I'm done, y'all. Y'all just don't know where Sister Deborah's at. When you're able, you were sitting at the table, and when they sat at the table, I said, the Spirit came to me 4 times today, y'all, and told me y'all was coming. I had no idea y'all was coming here, but the Spirit told me 4 times. It was preparing me for you all coming, because there's going to be an issue. And the issue is, was it yes or no? Because the Spirit already told me yes. So they said no. And he stood up to defend her, saying no, and he should not have. He should have went home to the drawing board, but he didn't do that. He feels, and that's where a lot of men are weak at. They feel they have to defend their wife. So the father, when everything was over and a week passed by, he said, Deborah, you asked me that for a whole 2 months. What do that mean? A daughter-in-law against a mother-in-law, and a mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law. And the other 2 verses that says a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. There's 2 verses in there saying that separate. It didn't say mother against the daughter and a daughter against them. It said that, and I think it's in Luke, but in these other verses, it was telling you the daughter-in-law against the mother. When I wanted the father to really give me some clarity, I wanted to know really what's going on there. I said, Father, she seemed like she's a pretty nice. It's because a lot of times you want to see people the way you want to see them, but God is letting you see their nakedness. See, he's giving you the insight of their nakedness. And my son got on her twice about simple things that she had lied about. And he said, why did you lie to my mother? He asked her that right in front of me. You see, but see, what she wanted is to be able to get victory to where he won't lean to nobody but her. And that she got it because he just lost his mother. The mother that he once used to have, he don't have no more. I'm the type of person, I'm not like, I saw him about 4 days ago, and him and I hugged, and her and I hugged. But look, I'm done, because something that sits as simple as yes or no, and you choose to say the lie, and there was no reason for it, y'all. Now listen to what I'm saying, y'all. Some people can lie because they have to lie because of death or something's going to happen really bad. You know, you tend to have a reason, but to lie for the simple thing, and then he knowing who I am, and you're going to take her lie over just telling the truth. Now you got to defend her lie, and I got to defend y'all's truth. You see? You don't even know, bro, who you at the table with. Oh, yes, he do know it. That's who just called me on the phone. I ain't picking it up. I ain't got nothing. I'm cutthroat. Because what I'm seeing, I keep trying to tell y'all. A lot of y'all might be on the outside looking in and don't understand what all I have put up with to just make sure these are happy young men and young women. But I had no idea to the capacity. I did. Let me stop lying. Let me just stop that line. Yes, I did. Because the Spirit already told me who's who and what's what. So cutting that sword, I can't teach it to y'all if I haven't checked. I haven't checked with my own household, and I have, to be the truth. So let's go into Revelation. In Revelation chapter 3 and verse 5, listen to what it says. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 5. He that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white raiment, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father. That's Christ speaking, y'all. That's Christ speaking, okay? And before his angel. That's Christ. Letting you know he's going to confess us that he redeemed before the Father. But he's letting you know, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life. What is that saying? There is a book, y'all. That's the topic of this message. Don't let nobody tell you it's not. So if you want to run your tail around here thinking, hey, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, guess what? This prophet telling you now, it ain't going to be no bridge for you to cross. You're going to go straight under the lake of fire. People wants to build everything up into something that it is not. Go right ahead. That's what's holding me. That's what bothered me so bad. Is when he told me a few days ago. It's been longer than 2 or 3 or 4 days ago. Look at this here when you talked about truth. You see, ain't nobody budge. And I'm like, oh, Father, truth, Father, truth is connected to spirit and truth. You truth. And he just showing me. See, it's because they don't want that. And I'm trying to show you, Deborah, what you're in the midst of. And he's not just talking about this page. He's talking about what you're actually living in the midst of. So I asked a question a couple of months ago, well, what is this about a daughter-in-law? Why do this have to be this? And he showed it to me. And you know what? What did I get out of it? The simple yes and no. That's how simple it was, y'all. He's just showing you. See how you know who's who when you ask them a simple question and they tell a great big lie for no reason at all. For no reason at all. That's a sad thing, y'all. That's a sad thing. So I'm glad he let me know that early on, which I kind of pretty much felt that because I thought about all the women telling me what happens when the girls marry the sons. They want to take all of who they are away. And what I think he has done, he has also dropped his ball with Yah. I really do. Because he thinking that, okay, no matter what, I know that I am who I am in Yah. No, I had to go back to Solomon. Oh, yes, I did. I had to go back to Solomon. And who else was that? It was somebody else. Matter of fact, it was 2 others that I had to go back who lost in the ideal of what Yah said not to do. Oh, the women. How the women, Samson. He did the same thing. His strength was between him and Yah. And just that easy, he told her the mystery. He didn't want to live after that. I don't blame him. I really don't. Because a lot of y'all don't understand that. I don't blame him. Because anytime you stab Yah in the back, you don't understand who you're stabbing. You have no idea who you're stabbing in the back. And that's what he did. This lady, he gave this lady that wasn't worth a dime, not a dime, let known a penny. The mystery between him and Yah. What was so powerful about that mystery? Anybody in the live chat? What you say about, what's that? Untie the apron string and throw that apron in the trash. He, my sister. Yeah, I believe it. And you know what? Honestly, I think that's why I got problems. It's because I don't know how to just take it and throw it in the trash. Because the moment I do that, here they come running, and they need all kind of help. The one in Texas. Oh, last week. Oh, mama, I got 5 years of taxes I need you to do. You see, it's always something that draws me back. And because I know that's one of my expert situation is going back on taxes and knowing how to, to straighten it out. And I just feel that, when that's my place to just do everything when everybody need. And if I told y'all between yes and no, what was the problem? Let me explain. Let me give y'all a little bit of what I'm talking about, and then you'll understand. Okay. We found out that she was pregnant. They found out that they were pregnant, her and my son. So the first thing I was telling my son, when me and your sisters, I'm gonna give y'all a baby shower. Okay. So him and later on, I think that next day, was that same day? I think it was the next day. He said, "Yep, y'all can go on and give us a baby shower." But her mother says, "Oh no." Ask her, would she give them the reveal? What is it? Gender reveal. And then we take the baby shower. So her mother want to flip and give us the gender reveal, and they take the baby shower. I myself says, okay, this is your first grandbaby, and this is your only daughter. Let's go and give them the gender reveal. No. Let's go and give them the baby shower. They weren't supposed to be doing it. It was supposed to be me, my daughter, and my youngest daughter. We were supposed to be doing it. So my son called me and said, "Mom, if she want to know, her mother want to know if you would let her do the baby shower." I decided, yeah, since this is her only child, her only daughter, she got a son, and this is probably be the only baby shower she could really give right now, because ain't nobody gonna have no another. We'd be lucky if we live next year. But I'm just still saying, I said, okay, we're gonna give it. And my daughter said, yeah, but Mom, I was looking forward to baby shower. That was our first baby shower too that we was gonna give. I said, yeah, but we're gonna give it to her. So my daughter said, yeah, let's go and give it to her. So we gave it to her, and she said, when y'all can take the gender reveal. So the gender reveal, I explained to my son, is that when y'all go to take your ultrasounds, make sure you let them know that you're doing a gender reveal, and then they will send it to my email. But she jumped up, the daughter, my son's wife, I'm having them to send it to me. Now, we didn't let her mother take the baby shower. This is like 3 weeks later. I said, why didn't you let them send me the email? If it's a gender reveal and we doing it as a surprise, why didn't you give them my email so they can send it so you won't have to look at it? When I told them to send it to my account, messed it all up, y'all. About time the 3 daughters got it, we had to look on her phone and look at all the baby medical condition, and in between it, gender reveal, male. And then she's going to sit at my table, and y'all sit at my table for me to counsel you all spiritual all the time. It won't be no more spiritual counsel for you. Do you see how small that is? That's how small the lie was. Why? Why did you say that, Deborah? Because watch this. You saw the gender reveal because you had them to put it to your account. She got this thing about minds. They didn't let her take any pictures doing her ultrasound. They shouldn't be able to tell me what to do. This is my uterus. Why is your uterus at their facility then? Why is your uterus at their facility? They don't let cameras come in to do what it want to do. But it's my uterus. Sit your tail down. Because I told her before she got married, when I counseled her and my son, I told her that is not your baby. Not when they weren't pregnant at that time. I said, this is before they got married. I said, you got to understand, women tend to take babies and make it theirs. They need to understand that sperm is the man. He need to have some say so. You can't just run around here and get pregnant and leave him just any choice that this is my uterus. You's a fool. She said, my mother told me the baby is the woman and the man. It is the man and the woman, but I'm telling you where it come from. So she already got that mentality, my baby, already. And then gonna talk about they wouldn't let her video in the ultrasound facility. I said they don't let people bring cameras in there. She said, but it's my uterus. You see the mindset? She that's how she feel about my son now. He's mine. That's how that's the vibes I'm getting now. So what did she do that? Why did you ruin us? We gave your mother the baby shower, and then you ruined us giving you the gender reveal. Y'all see what I'm saying? Now, do you think that would be right for us to do your gender reveal, and then you turn around and get the information to the gender to come straight to your phone? And then you're going to come to my house after the spirit told me you already know. You're going to sit at my table, the same table that you come here for spiritual counselor, and you're going to deny me the lie? Oh, no, baby, you ain't finna put no lie on this table. I just told y'all when y'all sat here, the spirit already let me know. He told me 4 times y'all was coming. Your answer should have been, yes, Miss Brown, I accidentally seen the gender reveal. I wasn't trying to, but I accidentally seen it. So yes, I did see it. She arguing. Oh, no, I didn't. And then my son just went off the deep end, a way I never saw before. And it brought back memories what those ladies said. You see? And when he did that, that's it. I'm not counseling my children no more. I'm not counseling my ex-husband no more. Sister Deborah is cut off, baby. That's it for me. Because we are in such a critical time as this. And then I thought about it. I said, Father, you said if they could bind the stronghold. A lot of y'all don't even understand that. He said, if the thief can come to bind the stronghold, he'll spoil the whole house. Well, he can have my whole house. The stronghold coming out of it. I don't give a rest behind what nobody say. This stronghold coming out of it. Because I don't see nothing else. I don't see no light. I don't see nothing but lies, deception, and everybody thinking they're using me for everything they need. They want to use me. You want me to babysit for you? You want me to do taxes? You want me to do everything? Fix everything, y'all. Break up from this house, everything. And I'm just running myself crazy, y'all. I'm for real, just running in a circle, just crazy, trying to please the serpent seeds. That's crazy. I'm not going to do it. So that's why I was saying to y'all, when she sat at the table with my son and I, they came over. I hadn't seen them in months. So I'm just not months, in about a month. They came over and I said, Father already told me y'all was coming 4 times when I was mopping. Why? The water. And then he say, and I say, China, I want to let you know. You know, your mother got the baby shower when we got the gender reveal, and you turned around and you saw the gender. So our surprise is ruined. You know, I say now, I think that you need to just own it up, and we will still have the gender reveal, but I think we need to know that you know the gender, because if you do, then we still need to know the truth, even though we still giving you the gender reveal. But you rather say no, That's not, see, when the spirit said it to me, I don't hear nobody else. Because he don't even have to tell me. But when he do, he said, I won't have you to be ignorant and not knowing. He's not going to have his that he sent down as his servant to be ignorant and not knowing. So much for that. We are here in Revelation. And in Revelation 3 and 5, he talks about the book of life, and that he will not blot out his name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name. And this is Hamashiach saying he will not blot the name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father. You see? So this is showing you that you can have your name blotted out. Yeah, I know it, but I don't know how. I don't know how. I don't think y'all really understand that. I don't know how. I just think that all the gifts that he's given me, I've always do things freely. And I really do. I'm too ignorant. I told y'all over and over and over that I don't have no sense. And I don't know why y'all don't grip that. Because I'm like that in everything. I used to do business taxes for people and didn't charge them. So I'm just saying everything. Somebody said, can you put in the toilet? I go to put it in the toilet, root up the old toilet and put it in a new one and won't charge him. I just ain't got no sense. And I know I don't. So in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 8, that's why y'all think I'm hurting. Because I'm an empath. I don't have no sense. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 8. And all that dwelleth upon the earth shall worship him whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slaughtered before the foundation of the world. See, that name is already written before in the Lamb book of life. He said those that are not in that book, they're going to worship that darkness, that beast, and that 666. But those that are not written in the Lamb book of life, they're going to worship all that darkness. And that's what you see today. At least, let me say me. That's what I see today. And it hurts so bad because I'm trying to figure out how can it be any different? It can't. So that's my problem. I'm hurting because Yah is feeding me truth, and I'm sitting here making it so hard to believe that it is what he said it is, even though I'm sitting on here teaching it. And it causing me to try to really come to reality. You need to get away, because as long as they see you there, where they think that they can contact you or they can call you, they can come to you, like Joseph, Quiet Storm. I'm sitting here talking about him and his phone call. You ain't talked to me in 2 months. Get on out of here. You see, I ain't gonna answer, and I ain't calling them back. So here in Revelation 13, it speaks of the Lamb book of life, of the Lamb, no, the book of life of the Lamb slaughtered from the foundation of the world. It's actually letting you know that there is a book. So just imagine if there is a book that, and imagine it, there is a book, and it's called The Lamb Slaughtered from the Foundation of the World, a Lamb book of life. So just imagine him going into that bad boy, taking your tail out, blotting you out. Just imagine that, thinking you in and you can get blotted out, thinking you for him, but really you against him. Let's go. Let's dig a little, dive a little deeper. Revelation 17. In Revelation 17 in verse 8. In Revelation 17 in verse 8, it says the same thing. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend it out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition, and they that dwell on the earth shall worship. No, they that dwell on the earth shall wonder whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast and was that beast that was and is not and yet is. Here it go again, that these are separate. Their names are not going to be in the Lamb book of life. But what it keeps trying to show here is when it's talking about the book of life from the foundation of the world, going back to what I used to teach y'all, before the foundation of the world, it was already written. Satan knows it was written. Yeshua knows it was written. David knows it was written. Moses knows that it was written. You get what I'm saying? But why are we walking around like we don't know that there's something written? Because we're acting the opposite way of a servant of Yah, or a way that is righteous in truth, but yet we feel it's okay. We getting in that book. We in that book already. He even said you can get blotted out. So we know that there's a book. Why ain't nobody teaching about it? Why ain't nobody speaking about it? But I'm today can assure you, you can be in it and he can blot your tail out of it. Now, I'm more comfortable with that. I didn't know that he will blot you out, but I'm more all these verses actually let you know that he can. And I am grateful to know that, because now you can, let people know you in there, but there's something, he can blot your tail out. I used to hear people teach that, but now I know for a fact he can blot your tail out. Okay, Revelation chapter 21 and verse 27. In Revelation chapter 21 and verse 27, and there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defiles, neither whatsoever worketh abomination or make it a lie. That's how simple. Now I just got to telling you all simple lies where you're not lying. When you lie of simple things, all this young lady should have said, well, yeah, I did saw it. I saw it in the medical condition. I shouldn't have let them send it to me. I should have had them to send it to you, Miss Brown. Bam! Then we good. But when you can lie about your own baby that you found out was a male, and you sitting at the table where the woman that spiritual advise you, or you come to ask for counsel, but then you gonna stand here and can't hold up yay or nay? Come on now. You couldn't even tell the truth. But this is how people keep up stuff. So what do they do now? They make me the bad one. They make me the wrong one, because y'all visit me 4 times within 2 hours, let me know that they're coming, and then had the fire balled up in me. The fire represent preparation. He's preparing me. See, I didn't know the outcome, but he did. So he prepared me from the inside, not knowing the full outcome. Give you another example. I was on live with you all earlier, and I could not shake that balled up fire that was in me. I know there was anointed on me, because I know that lesson was more than what y'all ears and eyes could even see or hear. But there was something bothering me while I was sitting here doing my study. Then all of a sudden Texas called, trying to tell me what I'm supposed to do as far as a mother and as a grandmother. I told him, I'm a female, I'm a grandmother. How in the rat's behind you a male and you a young male going to tell me how a grandmother's supposed to be? All because when one want to hold grandbabies away from you, you supposed to try to find another route. No, I ain't, baby. Because when he told me the breath, when you first born and you're full of trouble, I'm not following trouble to get trouble to follow me. No. If you're instilling stuff in your own children and you breathe in that dark mist, that's on you. I'm not chasing nobody's babies. I've raised enough myself. And if you feel that your child shouldn't be around me, wonderful. Because all they're going to be around was light. So that lets you know who you are. Okay? That's how I see it, y'all. That's how I understand it. So here in Revelation 21 and verse 27, it says, and there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defiles, neither whatsoever worketh abomination or make it a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb book of life. There go that book again, y'all. So we know that there is a book, and it's high time we talk about that book. It really exists. Sister Deborah learned to this evening that you can get blotted out of the book. You can get blotted out. Okay. Now, Revelation chapter 20 and verse 12. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Yah, and the books were open. I like that because I was trying to explain to y'all if you sit and you look at this and it says, I saw the dead, small mean what? Baby. Small and great. This is where I had to talk to a couple of males, explaining to them, your judgment is already on you once you are born and you receive the breath. That's why he said in a few days, you are full of trouble. You see, because you have been born into sin. You're on the earth. People think that you're born into the kingdom. You are born already in the heavens. No, you're born onto a sinful earth. Okay. And he said it lets you know that. So here in Revelation chapter 20 and verse 12, and I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Yah, and the books were open. So now we know there is a book, but it says the books with an S. And another book was open. Ooh-wee, which is the book of life, and the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their work. You see? So don't try to escape the fact that you just can just sit where you at because you elderly and you retire or you ain't got nothing else to do, and you can just sit there and you in. If you don't support somebody who's laboring in the vineyard, then get in the vineyard yourself and labor. How about that? That's how you can solve that. That's how you solve that. But even here, listen what he says. The books according to their works. A lot of people don't think they have any. They didn't know that when he said it a little few minutes ago when he said servants, those who served me. You see? It is those that are written are those who worked on his behalf, who served him, who had done the work. They come down here to work on behalf of the Father. And if you don't find a work in you where you are laboring in the vineyard, ministering to the people, everywhere you go, minister to people, open your mouth, serve Yah, glorify him among those. And if you don't find your purpose and your anything, then you support the person that are laboring. And he said you can come in that way. How? Because he that given unto those that are the least of them, you have done it unto me. And it all stood around what you have given. And the same thing here. It's exactly what it said. But people don't think that don't mean nothing. But I want to let you know here that there is a book. But what I learned today was that you can get your name blotted out. See, I didn't know that. I did not know that, you guys. I know once it's in, it's in. That's what I thought. You can get blotted out. That's what all of them letting you know. In Revelation, and that's in Yeshua, Hamashiach spoke it even in, I think it's in Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Their vision, their word of how they heard it. But I'm just still saying it's enough to let everybody be able to preach that thing to where it can get to people. Okay. So in Revelation chapter 22 and verse 19, in Revelation chapter 22 and verse 19, it reads, and if any man shall take away from the words of this book, and no, that's something I want y'all to check this out. Listen to what this says. Revelation chapter 22 and verse 19. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book. You see what it says? Listen to what it says. Anyway, wait a minute. If any man shall take away from the words of the book of the prophecies. You see what it says? Sound like it's almost a different book. Y'all come on, read it and tell me what you think. Revelation chapter 22 and verse 19. If any man shall take away from the words of the book of prophecy, okay, Yah shall take away from his part out of the book of life. You see how he said he'll take it? Why? I explained to you all, it says words because the book is not the word. But no, look at it. Look at it again. He said the words of the book of this prophecies. So there's somewhere he wanted us to understand the prophecies. And if anybody go tampering with that, we will be up Mess Creek. You know why? We wouldn't know what's taking place. We wouldn't know what he prophesied to us that should take place. We wouldn't know really what he's actually is saying or said that should come. Listen to where it's saying. Maybe let me read it out of the Bible. Let me out of the because I wrote stuff down and I always mess up stuff when I'm writing it down. Let me make sure I'm saying it right, because in this it's almost like there's some sort of mystery sitting right there and I'm just not getting it. I'm getting it, but I'm not getting it. In Revelation chapter 22 and verse 19, let me go there. And if any man shall take away from the words, let's stop there. The words were of the book of this prophecy, the words of this book. Wait a minute. The words of the book. It ain't saying this book. Y'all, I don't know if I'm seeing it too much. I might be seeing too much. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, it sounds like a different book. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's me just over exalt. I'm so tired or what. And I'm trying to see. It's almost saying a book of prophecy that of this book, the prophecy of this book, meaning could there be a book that had all the prophecies, or is he saying that this book holds the prophecies and that we should not tamper with the prophecies? And that's one thing I'm gonna tell y'all. Sister Deborah have always been on here the 7 years. I always stick to the prophecies. I always stick to the prophecies because why? I saw them come to pass. I saw them for myself come to pass. Okay. That's what I'm thinking. Exactly what you just said. That's what I'm thinking. The prophecies that was written from the kingdom. That's what I'm thinking he said. Now that's the understanding when I'm reading it. That's how I'm seeing it. And I'm like, wait a minute. This is really, really good because it's actually letting you know that it might not be something that, and if every man should add unto it these things, Yah shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. The plagues are also the prophecies. So he's letting you know that he would add unto him the plagues that is written in the prophecy. Because the prophecy already prophesied that he's going to bring earthquakes, plagues, what did he say? Pestilence. He already said that. And he's saying it's more like what you were saying. That's the way it seemed. He's actually saying the books of prophecy that was written in the kingdom. He don't want us tampering with the prophecies that the kingdom has set forth. You know, that's the way I'm getting it, you know, and a lot of them teaches he's talking about these Bibles. He didn't say this book. He didn't say this book as to this book. He's saying, where is it at? Where is my the words of the book of the prophecy? He ain't said out of this book, because this is how man has been in it and moved things to the point Well, we really can't grip it like we need to, but that's why we need the Ruach to kind of pan these things out, to give us a better insight of what he's actually saying. So Sister Deborah, I've gone to my 2 hours, and I know it had to do with a lot of me running my mouth about my issue, but it's all to pay, because you know why? It too shall pass. And my prayers is going to be dedicated strictly in the closet to the Father on whatever he does best, because I'm telling you, there's got to be another way. There's got it. I just can't continue to live the rest of my living making sure everybody, you tear up something, I go fix it. Or you lose something, I go find it. And just woo, woo. It's a sad thing. But Sister Deborah, appreciate it. That's what I was thinking too, because he was talking about the book of the prophecy, and I'm like, wait a minute now, you ain't talking about this book. You talking about like another book. The way he was saying it. You left the brethren with a way to pray to the Father. Huh? You say you left the brethren with a way to pray to the Father on your behalf. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that you all pray for Sister Deborah. I really appreciate that you all pray for Sister Deborah on behalf of Sister Deborah, and whatever it is that y'all will be done. And I appreciate that. I love that. I would love that to be done. And Sister Deborah, say I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. And I will be back. Shalom and shalom.